I can tell you wanna grab the mic because you Thursday. Hoping you gon' get some shine, but you not worthy. Let me hear you make some noise if you heard it. With the word, placing your games can never hurt it be known.
Welcome back to another episode of the Wordplay Podcast. I am your host, Swell Boogie, Swell 79, the Boogeyman, whatever you want to call it. And this is brought to you by Heaven Desires Custom Cakes. And today I have the most amazing guest, one of my best friends, one of my brothers. My brother is Mazzi. Mazzi. How you doing, my brother? You know, I've been trying to get you here for
I don't know what you're talking about. It's
a
the
long
first
time.
You called me today. That's it.
All right, and you finally made it.
I came through the
That's all
flesh.
that mattered. Meeting you, like we've known each other for about 20-something years.
Yeah, like almost 25.
I don't remember even like meeting you. I just remember like we was down with each other.
Well, I met Q first.
All right.
I met Q first, and I met Q because he was speaking at a hip hop panel, and afterwards I went up to him and introduced myself, and then he invited me to come to the Bronx or Brooklyn or some sessions you guys used to have.
Right. Arsonist?
Yeah.
Arsonist existed at that time already?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it was the beginnings, like right after, like it was shortly after Nomads, right?
Oh,
going into Arsonist.
so it's probably before Session when we released Session.
Yeah, it's before you put out Session.
Yeah, okay. So we didn't even have records out.
Or maybe Session was just bubbling, something like that.
Okay.
But
you know what? I don't even let's forget about that. Forget about that. Forget
Forget about the interview.
No, because you know we can always get into that.
All right.
But I want to know, before hip hop, who was Mazzi?
Before hip hop?
Yeah, I want to know.
I don't even remember that.
Like,
Bro, you gotta understand something. We came up.
You was writing forever.
No, but you got forget even that. You gotta remember we came up in the metropolitan tri-state area.
Right. It was nothing but hip hop.
Yeah, like people were like when people ask in interviews, when did you get introduced to hip hop? That's for people outside of this area.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Especially in the era we grew up, it was everywhere. You walk outside, in your crib, you're with your friends. I didn't get introduced as far back as I can remember. I was dancing at 6 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then writing at like 13 and doing, whack ass graffiti when I was, sometime in between there. So it's like, I can't tell you when I can't.
But it had to be a moment where it hit you like, yo, this is it.
No,
this
it's
is what
always.
I want to do.
Oh, what I want to do.
Yeah, this is like, yo, I'm gonna be in this industry. Like, what?
It wasn't even an industry thing.
The reason why I say that was
a
because,
cultural thing more than an industry thing.
Well, the reason why I say that is because Maz, you was everywhere. Wherever I went, in any hip hop event I went to, you was there.
Yeah, and I helped them clean the floors after.
Right, I'm pretty sure. but you know what I'm saying? It was like, you was super young, talk on some, I'm gonna be in this industry.
Right.
So how did that happen? Like, what clicked? What clicked?
Again, it was more a cultural thing. So it's like I was always already immersed in the culture. You know what I'm saying? So it's like once things started popping off at events and going from, because back then you went to one event and web to another event and web to another one, and then just by the time you knew it, you got a whole big ass spider web.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So this is pre-internet days. You know what I mean? So it's something that just grew because it kept getting doper and doper. So
right.
It was more a cultural transition into, all right, we need to get into the industry too. Okay, cool. We're gonna do that too. You know what I mean? We're doing everything else. So
you started coming to all the events, and then all right, let's just get back to you met Q.
Yeah.
And it was at a hip hop panel.
Some hip hop panel. I don't know if it was in Jersey or New York. Might have been in Uptown. I think it was Uptown. My memory is not exact on that, but yeah. So I met him, and then I called him a couple times, and he's like, "Yeah, you could come. We got sessions in the studio. You could just vibe with us, cypher with us,
right.
whatever." And then back then, I just had started going to the New Eurekan. And the New Eurekan, as you know, or for those who don't know, it was crazy. It was like people would form lines outside, whether it was hot or freezing cold, and just to get on the open mic and come with their new verses. And I'm talking, this was a hub. This was
we've seen a lot of big artists.
Right, a breeding ground for a lot of people. I.e. the Talib Kweli's, the Most Defs, and then even bigger artists would come in town.
I mean, we started there.
Right, we all started there,
yeah.
right? And then not to take anything away from Lyricist Lounge, but Lyricist Lounge was like, all right, it's gonna be a feature act, the feature acts, and then you could get on the open mic. Where you know, if you're lucky or dope enough. Whereas New Eurekan, the shout out to Rocky, was 2 nights of primarily open mics. So it's like everybody came with their A game and fire, just ready to destroy. So if you wasn't ready, you're gonna look crazy. And then there was, and then you would come back next week with even more fire. So it's like a constant, you know, coal being thrown into the fire.
And at New Eurekan Poets Cafe, it wasn't just a crowd of people watching. You also had celebrities in there watching.
Right.
You
Like
had
Black
artists-
Thought used to be in there.
Exactly.
Common, like Erica
So-
Badu. Erica Badu,
Yeah,
one
she
of her
was
first
the
shows
infamous-
in New
yeah.
York was at the New Eurekan Poets Cafe.
So you had big artists in there. So you was
She wasn't
actually-
big back then. She was like,
right, but
you know.
she still had a little status.
Nah, she even have
I remember her.
On and On.
I
On and On
remember
wasn't
seeing
even-
her there, like, yo, Erica Badu's here.
Nah, you saw her like a couple years after. On and On wasn't even out when she first started coming to the
Right,
New
okay.
Eurekan. Well, first she did R&R 101 with which Pays used to throw.
Right.
And then second she came to New Eurekan. So then after that she got the On and On shit. And then I think she came back after that when it was really bubbling.
Yeah.
I mean, Dead Prez. I mean, the list goes on. Nonfiction. The list goes on. MC Search used to be up in there. You had even people from Canada came
Everybody,
through.
man.
Bobito was hosting it. It was crazy.
Everybody.
It was nuts. It was just mayhem with so much a total plethora of talent. And then when you were done with that, it wasn't over because then outside would be the ciphers. And then you cipher for it, and you had to hold your own there. You know what I'm saying?
Because
So
there was MCs who never got to rock, and it was still hungry. And then there was the MCs that did rock,
and
were
they're still hype.
hungry. They're still hype, and we used to go outside and have ciphers forever.
The illest cipher I've ever had out there was it started at the New Eurekan, traveled to traveled to what's that hot dog place that was on
Papayas.
Grace Papaya on 6th Avenue and 8th Street.
Actually,
right?
where Fat Beats were.
Yeah,
was.
where Fat Beats was. The second Fat Beats. The first Fat Beats
Right.
was on East 9th.
Right.
But yeah, so yeah, where Fat Beats was at that time. So he went on stage, and he went on stage with GMS, Blitzkrieg, and rest in peace Pumpkinhead, and he was cool. The guy, he did all right, but then he came outside in the cipher, and Hez was like, "Oh shit!" And it was Cannabis. So Cannabis was a beast in the cipher. So we started there, and he just kept going. He just kept going. This is our spot, so we gonna keep going. I remember some of the standout people that lasted the whole time.
Yeah.
Was Words was there for a while.
Wordsworth.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Words. PH, Pumpkinhead, AL, and AL left. So it's ill. So we started in front of New Eurekan for like over an hour. They kicked us. They say, y'all gotta go.
Yeah.
So we walked down to some part of LES, kept going, then walked to the west side of the village, kept going, and then ended up in by West 4th. We were by West 4th by the basketball court, and then ended up in front of Grace Papaya. It was like a 4-hour cipher, bro.
So the reason why I want to break down what he's saying is you start a cipher, and then you thinking that it's over, so you walk a couple of blocks, and then the cipher continues on the corner. And then you walk a couple more blocks, and then there's new MCs or MCs that just saw a cipher.
Onlookers or whatever, yeah.
And then they want to get in,
Right.
and it just keeps on
It
going.
kept going, but this was the longest, most craziest cipher because we started running out of written rhymes, so we had to start going off top.
the top.
Some people will always go off the top, but a lot of us would go writtens, and then if we ran out or if we felt like it would go to off the top freestyles. So we was halfway through, we was on our off the top shit. This dude Cannabis still had writtens. Yo, 200 writtens. Like, how do you memorize so much? And then the
Oh
ill
my
shit
God.
was,
and that's when Cannabis was
yeah, he's
a monster. Like that's
But we didn't even know him. No.
Right,
He was the only thing he was on was the Lost Boys song
Right.
on that posse cut.
which was Beast from the East.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but that's it. That's the only thing people knew him
But
from.
that verse alone was Animal.
Yeah. So we like, oh, that's that guy from that. But we didn't know he was that much of a problem. Especially on stage, he was okay. But in the ciphers, he was a fucking dragon, bro. And then we got so I told you we lost AL somewhere along the line.
Right.
And then we was in front of Grace Papaya, toward the end of it. And then AL just happened to be riding by in a car.
And
he was
gets
the
back
passenger,
in.
and he's like, "Oh shit, y'all still rapping?"
Oh,
He jumps
my
out
God.
and he continues, and we just it was
Shout
just-
out to AL Skills.
Those-
I actually was supposed to have him here, and we had to reschedule. But AL Skills will be on the show.
We'll
We're gonna
figure
be
it
talking
out.
About.
Figure that out.
We're gonna have him
AL
on the
got
show.
stories too.
Yeah, yeah.
And then those were the days we used to rap till literally the sun came up.
Yeah.
Like it was too much. It was
It was
too
a
much
different
rapping.
time.
Rappity, rappity,
Yeah,
rap.
it was a different time.
Yeah.
All right, so you started releasing music, and if I'm not mistaken, you're like on your 10th album right now.
Yeah, my 10th project, which is an EP, came out a few weeks ago. It's called Soul Broke Forever. It's a collabo album with a dude named TAC from Dubai. So I went out to Dubai and I recorded the EP with him in a couple days, and then we just put it out. I did it in the summer, and we put it out a few weeks ago.
Well, let's rewind some. Your first album, what year was that? That was
First single? No, my first single, because back then if you put out, back then vinyl was big. So if you were able to get on a distro or on a label or press up vinyl and put it out, you were like, oh, I've arrived. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was a huge deal, because it wasn't as easy as just pressing a button. Now it'll be everywhere. So to get vinyl out was a huge deal. And my first single that we put out was with Pays.
The Ancients.
The Ancients, yeah. We were in a
Ancients.
group. I was in a group called The Ancients, and that was like 99.
Ooh.
And then I didn't put out an album because up until there we were just putting out vinyl singles or maxi singles. I didn't put out an album till 2003.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Before I get into your tributes, I wanted to talk about how you're on everybody's song. You've
I
done
am?
song, yeah. You've done song with Arsonist. You've done songs with Pumpkinhead. You've
Right.
done songs with Noriega. Like I feel like Mazzi is like really loved in the hip hop industry, and everybody wants to work with him.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I see it that way.
I don't think so.
All right, if you know what, you can go to any album and you're probably on it.
Nah, I don't think so. I think if anything, there's a lot of other people that are my peers in our scene, in our lane that get more features, way more.
I mean, I'll be listening to albums and I'll be like, damn, Mazzi's on this too.
Yeah, but not really. I feel like it should have been more features. It's not. And a lot of those features are me featuring them, not necessarily them featuring me. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Which is cool. I'm not, I never got bitter about it. It's
Oh, that's
just,
right. Yo, Noriega's on your album.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
Right.
PH was on my shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. I did a song I remember with Dead Prez on it, but we were both featured on somebody else's shit.
Right.
It's rare that people get me on their shit, but it happens. You know what I'm saying? And it's cool. I'm so on some other shit.
Nonetheless, Mazzi is definitely loved in the hip hop industry.
I mean, yeah,
everybody I talk to
that doesn't-
who knows Mazzi, everybody's
that's not
like,
a
yo,
gauge.
Mazzi is mad, you know what I'm saying, mad cool.
To me, that's not. I appreciate it, but to me, that's not a gauge of respect. Like if I got on somebody's shit, because when it comes down to it, the relationships are there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The connections are there.
Besides doing music, you also do a whole bunch of stuff. Like you be hosting those big famous battles.
Yeah.
You're on all types of stuff. So like you can go to YouTube and you can put on anything and Mazzi will be there.
Well, yeah, I used to.
How did that happen? Like how did you network so many different things?
Because I
getting
never
out?
wanted to be, for two reasons. One, I never wanted to be a one-trick pony, and two, being an independent artist, a handful of the independent artists had a team or had management. I didn't. I had to do everything myself. I had to
And
learn.
you're still doing that.
Yeah.
You're still doing that.
I had to learn everything myself, down to editing, to promoting, to I had to learn everything myself. So, I was like, all right, if I'm gonna learn everything myself, I'm gonna do different shit. I'm gonna do different shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, from getting auditions for dancing, like
Right.
we
We'll
used
get
to
into
go
that. Yeah, we'll get into
from
that.
to hosting rap battles. I hosted one of the like earlier rap battles events called Jump Off. That started in the UK. We should interview this fly too.
Word. I don't know if y'all can see that, but there's a fly stalking us right now.
So from Jump Off TV, which started in England and then came over here. I hosted that, to helping host with the Team Backpack, Did that for a while. So in it, hosting events, throwing events, and
Yeah, you've done everything.
I
You've
just
done
try to.
everything.
I just because it's like I gotta keep moving. You know what I'm
You
saying?
would also
Self-empowerment.
Yeah, you would also throw shows for a bunch of independent artists or up and coming artists, and then the donations would go to specific places.
Yeah.
And which leads me to say that what you guys don't know is that Mazzi is on his 10th album right now, and each album that he releases also goes to a donation to.
Yeah. So yeah. Aside from doing events where we would dedicate the event to a certain.
Right. We did an event together. We did Puerto Rico when the
Yep.
shit happened in Puerto Rico.
Yep.
We threw a free party. Everybody donated.
Donated something. So
We-
that's the
Dope.
theme always. It's always a free event. The artists donate their talent and time, and then it's free to get in. But we really encourage you to bring
Right.
whatever theme it is, whether it's socks for the homeless, whether it's canned goods for Puerto
Right.
Rico.
We did a
whether-
few of those parties.
Yeah,
Together.
so it's just like we figure out a theme, make it cool, and then we bring artists and they come through, DJs come through, whatever, and we just have a blast. But at the same time, we do it for a good cause, and you'll be surprised how many people come through and support, man. Like for the homeless runs that we did, we were getting like for the blanket drive, we had a mountain of blankets. The sock drive, we had mountains of socks, and we would work locally and just drop off at the end of the night, bag up everything and drop it off to the Bowery Mission in the city. So it's like we're real local, real hands-on. My philanthropy work is always hands-on. I don't deal with NGOs. I don't deal with organizations that are big like that are corporate and all that shit. So like even with the albums, I dedicate 100% of the proceeds and profits of every album to charities, and everyone is a different
crazy.
theme. You know what I'm saying? So, for instance, this one that's out now, Soul Broke Forever with Tack, 100% of the profits are going to go to the KCCL. It's a special needs school for children in Kenya, Nairobi. So, what am I going to do? In a few weeks, I'm going to Nairobi, bringing the money we've collected so far, and handing it to the principal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to give it to some organization. Yeah, y'all take care of that. So they can take their percentage, and God knows where the money goes. Another example is we, for a few albums before this, we raised enough money to build a clean water well in Uganda.
Crazy.
So I went to Uganda, sat with the elders in the village, looked around. They showed me where the wells could be made. I was with the organizer, broke bread with them, and then took out the money, handed it in their hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I want to operate.
What inside of Mazzi made you do that? Like, what?
Because I grew up, as a lot of us, I grew up broke. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I try to tend to things that hit home. Like, homeless people were all around me when I was growing up. And I saw their plight, and then them having shortage of things, and then clean water. I've had times where our water was all fucked up, was like brown for a while, and I was like, imagine not even having water. So, you know what I'm saying? So I try to put myself in things that are close to home.
And mind you, I want to let the fans know that Mazzi's not a rich person. Mazzi's not like on some
that's what I'm getting at.
millionaire type of person. So there's people putting out their albums and pushing it hard so they can make themselves.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with
that's
that. I mean, I was one of those people. I would never even thought of giving back.
And my beginning albums were like that. Like I'm not doing this to point fingers at anybody. This is just what I do.
Right.
And I never know if I'm gonna get rich. This is the second thing. I'll never know if I'm gonna get rich. So I figure, I'm gonna do this on the journey to try to get rich. On that journey, I'm gonna give back rather than sit there and twiddle my thumbs, wait to see if I have enough money to do it.
You've done so much. You've done so much for your own community. You've done so much for people in other countries.
Right.
That blows my mind. And you're doing this all by yourself. You don't have no management. You don't have a team. And I think that's what the best thing about what Mazzi does, because
it's stressful.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure it is. But I do speak to other artists that have all that stuff going on, and they don't do half the work that you do. And even if they did have that stuff going on, they still don't do half the work that you do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you're always on tour.
Well,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it's
you're
more
always-
like I travel a lot. I do a
Right.
lot of spot dates. Like I've been to 45 countries,
Right.
and a lot of them multiple times. And I would say
we'll get into that. I was about to say we went to Africa together.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
did. Wild out. So I would say easily more than half of those countries, I've done workshops. I've done philanthropic work.
Crazy,
I've
man.
I've performed with kids, and we've done shows, benefit shows, and you name it. Easily over half, like maybe 30 something of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just that's my journey.
Right.
That's what reinvigorated
So
me
crazy.
in music. That doesn't mean rapper XYZ or singer ABC should do that. That's
Right,
just
right,
what
right.
motivates me. Because if I didn't do that, I'd probably quit doing music. Like this gets me hyped to do new albums. You know what I'm saying? By the end of the year, I should have put out 3 projects. I never put out 3 projects in 1 year. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Put out maybe 1 project a year. But it's just that's what puts the battery in my back. And
That's so amazing.
not to point fingers at anybody else.
Right,
It's just
right.
my journey.
Oh, and what I wanted to get into, a lot of people think you're Latino, but you're actually Persian.
Yes, I'm
Let's
from the
talk
Middle
about
East.
that. Let's yeah.
Yeah, I'm from.
Who do we have in the industry that's from where you at?
From Iran.
Well,
No,
the
I
Middle
don't
East.
know
and
anybody. Middle East. I mean, there's French
got
Montana. There's
DJ Khaled.
DJ Khaled. There's Belly. There's who else?
But the reason why I brought it up is because I feel like we need more of you.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, and I know there are a lot of hip hop artists out there, but you're one of the ones that like come to mind, and I'm like, we always thought you was a Latino. We always thought you was Puerto Rican.
I mean, I grew up around y'all motherfuckers.
Right? Yeah, exactly. But talk about your culture.
I mean, damn, you're talking about 8,000 years of culture.
Let's do it.
Started off
At least hip hop wise.
the Mesopotamia.
At least hip hop wise. Well, me and you get into a lot of religious conversations because I'm not a
Right.
religious person,
Right.
but I'm always interested in knowing other people's religion. And you're Muslim.
Right.
There's not a lot of Muslims in hip hop.
There is. I mean, Muslims have Islam has influenced hip hop in a major way, and it's, for lack of better phrases, it's been one of the pillars of hip hop. Because
Right.
if you go and you look at the Zulu Nation teachings, they're derived from Islamic teachings. They're derived. There goes a mosquito again, a bug again. So they're derived from like the 5% Nation of Islam teachings, which are also derived from Islam. Orthodox
And even
Islam.
in the whole Wu-Tang not the documentary, the show that they got going on Hulu, there's a lot of
Well, that's the 5%.
Yeah, right,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's exactly what I'm talking about. So, a lot of MCs were 5%ers, later became Muslim or were just Muslim. Like you have Rakim, the whole Wu-Tang, you had Busta, and then you have Muslims like Ali Shaheed Muhammad, Q-Tip, Mos Def.
Yeah.
What's that dude from Chicago? Yeah, there's a lot.
There's a lot.
You know what I mean?
But a lot of what I didn't mean to say there wasn't a lot. I meant to say it's
Middle
not
Eastern-
known. No, not even that. I wanted to say that it wasn't known that.
Nah, I think it was. I think the influence of the nation and the influence of the 5% nation was definitely known. I mean,
Right.
if
Okay.
it wasn't people like Brand Nubian and X-Clan made sure you knew it.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
Um,
I was so
So-
proud. I was so proud when you told me that. You was like, "Nah, I'm from the Middle East," and I'm like, "What? I got a friend that's from the Middle East." Like that was just so dope to me.
hey, what? You're not gonna try to? Nah, but yeah. So it's like, and traveling back over there, you see how hip hop is so universal. You know what I'm saying? And it's ill because that's what the pioneers wanted, bro. That's what they wanted to spread it to
Right.
the world and make it something universal.
And you're definitely spreading music to a whole nother level and giving back at the same time. That
Right.
to
Well,
me
the
is
thing
always
is,
amazing, man.
The thing is, the music's already there. Their culture's already there. Their form of hip hop is already there. All I'm doing is connecting dots with them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's cross cultural communication, really.
Right.
So yeah, it's just, you'll be amazed. You go to places like, you saw South Africa.
Yeah.
How many ill MCs were there?
OD.
Stupid. There's so.
OD. And-
Listen to the album that I put out in with the South
Mazzi
Africans.
did a whole.
It's called The Check-In. It's Soul Purpose and Ritual Media present the
And
check-in.
this
It came out this year.
This album, it has all the African sounds that you can think of. Like, it's
Languages, tribal languages, Zulu, Xhosa, like
It has
even
everything.
the production is like
Yeah.
half of the production was from
There's
from
people
South
whistling
Africa.
on there. And
Whistling and yelling and chanting. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's crazy.
So it's just so rich the culture, and then Africa's a whole nother story. Africa's crazy, bro. Like
we went there together, me and you, and we had a great time.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't believe me when I say this story, but I got bit by a lion,
no,
and Mazzi was there for that.
you didn't only get. I was probably this far.
Yeah.
So no, you did.
I think Mazzi automatically became a superhero and instantly disappeared.
No, I was there the whole time.
No. But your soul disappeared.
Oh, yeah, my soul went into the sky.
Everybody was so scared.
But what did Swell do? Swell, like a normal person, if a fucking lion bites you, you're gonna pull
We gotta
away.
say the story. We gotta say the intro to that story because
intro?
remember on the way over there, I was like, "Yo, imagine a kid from Brooklyn comes to Africa and gets bit by a lion." It was Capadonna was there. Everybody was all laughing, and then the shit happens.
It happened, and then a normal person would just, pull away. What does what does Swell do? He flexes. He goes, and then
a lot of people don't believe that I got bit by a lion. I have the scar here.
you got the scar, and then the trainer came and smacked the lion.
He grabbed the raw meat from the bucket and slapped him on the nose so that he can get off me and eat the raw meat.
Yeah.
But I was scared, bro.
But then
I was scared.
But then it happened again.
It happened again.
Because
I never really tell that story.
So
because I don't tell that story because people don't believe. People were like, you corny now. But I have scars, like, you know what I'm saying? So go ahead.
So we go to the baby's lion area, like where the baby lions are.
Because they're like, all right, now we're going to see baby cubs. And I'm like, oh, we're going to see baby cub lions.
No, but a baby cub lion is not like a kitten, bro.
Right, they're like this big, bro.
So they smell the sweat
and
the
blood.
salt. No, they smell the salt. That's what the trainer said. He said they smell the salt from your head.
I thought it was the blood because I still had blood dripping down from my arm.
No, they said it's the salt. So they all jump on you and they start licking your forehead.
Right, but then the claws come out and start getting on my face.
Right, and then one of them bites you on your back or like your lower rib.
No, I don't think it was a bite. I was trying to, when I got the lion off of me, I walked away and the other lion ran up behind me and jumped on me. And then like as I reflexed, his claw like linked up on me.
No, but in your back you had a bite mark too. So
anyway,
anyway,
it was crazy.
You for some reason you relished and all that, which you're a psycho for that.
And people don't believe that.
I'm here like scared out of my face. Like I'm like, yo, this guy's crazy.
Mazzi's soul left his body. Danny Castro, all he could do was, oh shit. Oh shit. Capadonna
went and bought you a shirt.
Yeah, he bought me a lion shirt. He was like, yo, you're officially the Lion King. So he went and got me the shirt, but that was a crazy time.
Yeah.
And every time I travel with you, you have a billion hats.
Really?
You always have different hats.
You know why?
I always wanted to ask you, well, actually, this is not even a swell question. My brother Slope asked this question. He was like, yo, I want to know how many hats Mazzi has.
I'm going to tell you.
Whenever I see him, he has a different hat. And not only does how many hats he has, how do you manage them? Like, where do you put them and everything? Because you've been collecting hats since the 90s.
Yeah, I mean, I got rid of a lot of them, but I don't even know how much I have. I didn't even count. But two reasons. One, I was always broke, so I never had good clothes.
Right.
I had hand-me-downs or just fucked up clothes, which is not top of the line shit where all the kids that was fly in the hood, in my neighborhood, they had it. I didn't have it. Sneakers, I didn't have the fly sneakers. I didn't have the fly gear. So the cheapest thing that I could afford or steal would be hats. You know what I'm saying? So that's one. And then the second thing is, before that even, I used to wear this one hat. I used to love it, but it got so sweaty. And then one day my boy was like, damn, bro, why you get a better hat? Like, you always got the same. And that day, that was like the turning point.
It was
I was
over.
like, all right.
So how if you had to guess how many hats you have?
I don't even know. Like I said, I got rid of a lot.
Guess. Even before you got rid of them.
If I didn't get rid of them?
No, if you didn't get rid of them.
Like throughout the years, bro, like 300, like easy, like a lot.
I was thinking thousands because
no,
I remember like we even went to Florida back, I think in 2000 or something like that, and you had a whole bag separate just for hats.
For hats,
We
yeah.
went to Africa. I was like, oh, he still has a bunch of hats. And Slope was like, yo, how many hats does he have?
I didn't even know y'all were having this conversation.
Yeah, we love you.
Nah, but and you would think like I'm going bald or something. Nah, just like hats.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? And it was the only thing for me to show a variation of fly gear was my hats. You know what I mean? But that's it. That's why I have hats.
Let's get back into the events that you be throwing. I had Elder Sensei here on the last episode of the Wordplay podcast.
Word, shout out to
And
El.
then, we spoke about how Arsonists and Artifacts actually were fans of each other and then ended up having beef with each other. And then I just learned today that you were a part of that. You're the reason why that happened. Yo, break that down.
I had a show. I'm from Jersey originally. I'm from Jersey City. And I was throwing a show in Newark, right next to the Newark Symphony Hall. It was called African Globe Theater. And I threw this show called New York Meets New Jersey, right?
Oh.
Yeah, it was a chaotic night. It was crazy.
First of all, that name is already rivalry.
No. It wasn't rivalry until that shit happened. You know what I mean?
I'm
So
pretty sure that
you
sparked it.
sprained your ankle that day, by the way, or your
I
foot.
did?
Yeah, you fucked up your foot somehow. We had to go and get some money to go to the bank to get some money to get some bandages for your foot.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember? It was some,
The only thing
foot
I
was fucked
remember,
up.
we'll get back to the story, but was when you got me hyped to go to this club that I haven't been out in years, and I blew my knee out because of you.
That's a whole different
we'll
story.
get into that. We'll get
the
into
club
that.
shit and the
We're
dance
gonna
shit
get
is a
into
whole
that.
nother
We're gonna
shit.
get into that. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So
go ahead.
So then we come back. So a lot of shit was happening. You fucked up your foot or ankle or whatever.
So
We
weird.
trying to deal
I
with
remember
that. I'm trying to organize all the acts. Some of the acts were there. Some of them weren't there. You know, Candy's on my neck, wanting to get the money.
Candy was our manager at that time. Candy was running a lot of things for the Arsonists.
Right.
And
Shout out to Candy.
Yeah.
And by the way, she was giving the deal was like super low, like it was like pennies for you out of rock. So
Right.
she wanted the money, and you know she was stern. But
she was very
Yeah,
she
so-
wasn't playing that.
Nah, she was
Candy
playing-
was no joke.
matter
She
of fact,
was
I think I was going to the bank to get that money before y'all got on stage. That's what it was. And we had to go to the pharmacy to get something for you. So
Gotcha.
it's two things. So we're doing that, and then at the same time, Tame One wasn't on the bill, but he came through because he knew some of the people. Like I think he knew Black 45.
No, Artifacts was on the bill.
No, Artifacts wasn't on the bill.
So how did that happen?
I think it was Tame was just coming through.
Nope.
I'm telling you, he wasn't on the bill, bro. He wasn't on. I threw the show. He wasn't on the bill.
All right, so then from this moment on, Artifacts was on the bill because we already said that on the last episode. So
Well,
go.
maybe. Okay. Let me rephrase that. The people who were throwing it with me from Newark, they were cool with Tame One. So I think Tame One was coming through as a special guest.
Gotcha.
That's
All
what
right.
it was. That's what it
Gotcha.
was. Tame One was coming as special guest.
special guest.
Yeah.
Okay.
This was like 96,
Which was
97.
still because it's still on the flyer as special
Yeah.
guest.
Something
All right.
like that. Something
Right.
like that. Tame One was affiliated with it. So he came through and he wanted to get on. He like came barging in and he wanted to get on. But you guys were on stage.
And we was rocking that shit.
You were rocking that shit. So he gets on stage during your set.
Like seconds after we were done, like walking off. I think we were like done, but we was like walking off or something happened. I remember we were still on stage.
No, you hadn't finished. It was either at the beginning of your set.
It wasn't at the beginning because we rocked it.
Listen, I'm telling you because I'm gonna tell you what Freestyle said. It was either the beginning of your set or it was right before you were supposed to get on. He just bum rushes the mic. One of the two, right? So he gets on. He bogarts the mic, and somehow we finally get him off. So I'm like, oh shit, because I think Pumpkinhead and his
I
people.
remember exactly what he said, bro. It was after us because he said, I don't do that clown hip hop shit, jumping around shit. I don't do that clown basically because we was doing choreography.
So then how did Freestyle get on the mic and say shout out to Tame One? And that's when Tame One got super angry, went outside and smashed the bottle on his 40 bottle on the concrete, on the curb right in front of the club. He got mad that Arsonist didn't take it. Like, I thought it was going to be a fight because PH was there. PH performed too. PH was there with his people from Brooklyn. You guys were there. You a lot of people. So I was like,
about to get real serious.
It was about to get serious. And then Freestyle said that. So I think it caught Tame One off guard, and he got angry, and he stormed out, and then he smashed the bottle. Because I was outside dealing with some other shit, which I'm about to tell you about. So it must have been during or middle of your shit, and then he got off.
Right. Okay.
So then anyway, regardless of that, I'm outside because I'm in and out. At that point, I heard them say that. I see him storm out. Then I get called outside, and there's Pace One from the Outsiders.
Yeah.
With the Outsiders.
That. Yeah.
And he's like, "Yo, I'm on the flyer. They weren't letting him in. He's like, "Yo, I'm on the flyer. I'm supposed to perform." I said, "My man, you're not on the flyer." He said, "Look, right here it says Pays One."
Oh.
And I was like,
Pays.
I
remember
you're
that.
lying to my face. I'm throwing this show. I booked Pays, and he couldn't make it tonight. So you're lying to me. He's like, "Yo, if Redman and Method Man was here, you be sucking their dick and letting them in to perform." I was like, "What? I don't do none of that shit, homeboy."
Right.
And then he was with the Outsiders. I was Dolo. You guys were inside. Everybody was inside. So I was like,
but if I would have known about that.
we know.
We'll get into that.
So
We got to get into that right now.
So if DJ Muhammad wasn't there, who was the Outsiders DJ at the time, and a friend of mine from years before that, to come in and stop it and say, "Yo, this is my man Mazzi, leave him alone,"
Right.
I'd have gotten stomped out.
Right.
Because I wasn't taking shit from him saying that,
Absolutely.
and he wouldn't have took shit from me with all his boys.
Right.
So anyway, whatever. That shit happened, and then that beef just continued.
And it continued. We was at the radio station. It was at
I
another
remember the
place.
radio station shit.
Oh man, I actually heard that footage like a couple years ago, and I cringed. I was like, oh, it's so annoying. And then everything was cool.
Speaking about beef, ladies and gentlemen, the feather trigger is sitting right in front of you. You don't even have to finish the word beef. You can say beef.
This is before I had personal development. Not that type of person no more.
He will have steam coming out of his ears and turning red and saying, "Where are we going?"
Yeah. It was always ready. It was
always hype, always ready.
wilding out.
I'll tell you one story and explain it all. We had beef. My boy had beef at Hot 97.
Yeah.
Right. So the people who we had beef, Hot 97 used to be a hot spot. People used to,
That was the only radio station, actually, the only hip hop
at that time.
at the time.
Yeah. So there's a lot of heated shit in front of Hot 97. So my boy had beef.
It was Ali?
Ali, yeah. In front of
Who's actually road manager.
No, he was DMX's manager. He did a lot of stuff.
Right.
He did a lot of stuff. Drink Champs, Nori, Little Mama. Like his resume is long. Anyway, so he was in front of Hot 97. He for some reason knew that I was around the way, like around in the area. He's like, "Yo, it's just me and my female artists outside Hot 97. They about to put these dudes that I have beef with, blah blah blah, are pulling up with 2 cars, or at least 1 car, but they pulling up way deeper than I am. I'm just here by myself. Where you at?" I said, "Shit, I'm at SOB's around the corner, but me and you ain't gonna be enough. It's just me and you for 1 or 2 Carlos." I was like, "Hold on, let me see if Swell's performing. Let me see if he's done with his performance."
Because you already know I'm
I knew you would
fight
roll.
everybody.
And then whoever else was there. So I'm like, shit, he's still on stage, he's still performing. So I just come to inform you that maybe when you're done, if you can make your way around the corner, I said it would be nice.
This is in the middle of a show that Arsonist is doing.
You know, it's you and Nonfiction. It's Arsonist and Nonfiction are
it's a
on
big
stage
show.
performing.
Yeah, it's a big show. This is at SOB, one of the most famous places to perform in New York
It was
City.
packed. It was sold out.
Sold out crowd.
So I go to Swell and I tell him to come to the side of the stage, and I'm like, "Yo,
in the middle of the set.
Ali got beef around the corner." I didn't even finish my sentence. Word to mother, I didn't even finish my sentence. He jumped off stage in the middle of his set. I don't even know if he had any songs left to do.
Of course, we had a whole set left.
And he just came with me around the corner to the Hot 97. Show was out of his mind. So that's how Swell used to be hyped, that he would leave his own concerts to
Yeah.
come in.
Let's
Thank God, some of Ali's boys ended up making it, and we were deep enough to hold shit down, and nothing happened.
Yeah.
But it would have been
I
crazy.
was mad that nothing happened.
Yeah, he was mad because we was ready.
I wanted to start shit even though they were trying to calm shit down. I was
Yeah.
like, nah, nigga, I'm here. Yo, let's talk about we danced a lot, bro.
Yeah, we were some
danced.
dancing
We
fools.
went to every club in New York City, maybe 3-4 clubs a night.
Yeah.
7 days a week, there was parties going on. 7 days a week, me and Mazzi and Jason Lee and
Just a bunch of people.
a bunch
yeah.
of people, we would go to 3-4 clubs a night, Chico. A night.
2 to 4. That's not 3 to 4. Sometimes it was
I'm an
2.
exaggerator. So 3 to 4. All right, I keep it cool. Two clubs a night.
6 nights a week.
6 nights a week. But we was doing that, and we was now back then.
For
the parties-
double-digit years, not just like a couple years.
Now,
Like, I'm talking like
we did that forever. We did that forever, not one summer, and it was every day. And the thing is, the parties back then were super live. So when we got there,
it wasn't what I call they are now. They're like honeycomb beehives. Like the parties now are like it's only tables and bottle service. So every table with 8 bottles is a beehive, and all the girls swarm to the beehives. That's how the parties are now. And then they'll just like shake their
yeah, it
their
wasn't like
hips.
that back in the day, bro. It wasn't like that. We would go to a club and start a circle, and we dancing all night.
Yeah.
And then we'll go to another club, and we just dancing all night. And then it stopped. The sound of music changed.
Not even that. It wasn't that the music changed. It was that it was
a lot of things.
It was 3 reasons really. It was Rudy Giuliani, it was gentrification, and it was 9/11. And in all that, the bottle service and the table thing really killed it. And the reason for that is that back in the day, you had to either be on a guest list, you had to get to the party early, or you had to be know somebody. You had to be cool to get in. If you
I
wasn't
remember
those
we was
things,
carrying records for DJs
you had to
just
have-
so we can get in.
yeah. So if you didn't have those elements, you wasn't getting in.
Right.
So the party would only be fly.
Right.
Now,
reservation or nothing?
No.
no, don't give a fuck about. I mean,
You had
no.
You had to have props to get in.
Yeah. So
have to
now,
prop-
and then fast forward to after that.
But let's talk about
Wait, let me
how
just
we
finish
were
the
carrying
reason.
records
Let
for
me finish-
DJs just
hold
so
on,
we
hold
can
on.
get
You
into
jumping,
these parties,
fam.
man. Like,
You jumping? Hold on. Now any Tom, Dick, and Harry can just say, "I have $1,000." You know what I'm saying? And then get in and buy a table, and he's corny. So it's like it don't matter. It's the cool factor went away. You know what I'm saying? We ain't the coolest motherfuckers, but we cool enough to get into the shit and get the shit popping. You know what I mean? So
right.
go ahead.
We was making it live, and I was like, Mazzi, we got to get in this party because everybody's gonna be at this party.
Bro, we done snuck into parties, carried crates, promoted parties, threw parties, got invited to any scheme, anything you could think of, any scenario we went
We
through.
did it.
Yeah.
We take the stamps and
Oh my God.
we did all types of tricks. And then
Or-
it stopped. And then it stopped. You know
Yeah.
what? Let's fast forward. It stops. And I think I didn't go out for like maybe 3 years or something like that. Like 3 or 4 years I haven't seen you. It really wasn't hanging. You was doing your own thing. I was doing my own thing. And then you call me. And you're like, yo, Swell, I found this party that Q-Tip is doing.
Oh, yeah.
And you gotta come. You're gonna dance all night. And I'm like, I don't know, parties is not like that no more. So for him to say we're gonna dance all night, I was like, all right, let me give it a shot. Now I haven't danced in mad years. He gets me hyped to go to this party. I get to the front. What was the name of the spot?
Santos.
We get to the spot, and I'm hearing the old school music. I'm like, oh, I can tell I'm gonna have a good time. And I walked in the club. Santos was pretty big. I remember that. And there was like 3 or 4 different circles going on.
Yeah.
And I said, oh my God, I'm so hyped. I'm going to close this club down. I'm closing this club down, lights out, everything. And the very first circle that I got in, I blew out my knee.
I don't even remember that.
I blew out my knee. You don't remember it because you was in one circle and I was in another circle, and I had to leave and went straight to the hospital. The next day, my knee was like exploded.
That's
I
crazy.
I jumped up in the
How
air.
about the time you got so hyped? Swell never did a flip in his life, right?
Never.
One day we were at a club. He got so hyped So excited. He did a flip.
Oh my God.
I was like, how'd you learn how to do a flip? He's like, I don't know. I just got hype and I did it. But that's the thing with us. That's another thing with us.
Yo,
we never took dance classes.
Oh,
we
nah.
never got taught. Everything we learned was from the streets, was from watching videos, watching other dancers, or actually going to basement parties, whatever parties, school parties, clubs, and that's how we learned, to the point where we were able to hang with trained dancers and go toe to toe with them.
Go with toe to toe with trained professional dancers in clubs.
And then
they thought we were dancers.
Yeah, no, and then get down with them in their crews.
Yep.
And then even take it a step further, they would invite us to do auditions, and we ain't in no agency. We just bum rush the auditions and get the shit.
Yeah.
And get it and get paid. You know what I mean? So like,
it was crazy.
It was a crazy journey. The dance world was
actually
and it's relationships that we have to this day. So you know
absolutely. What I mean? Actually, when Arsonist fell apart, I didn't know what to do with my life, and you introduced me to Jason Lee, who's a professional dancer, and convinced me that I was good enough to be in a dance group. And then we
all were.
Yeah. I could dance. There's a difference between can dance and being a dancer. And y'all gassed me up. You was like, nah, do it. And I got in this group called Company Soul.
Yeah.
And
we had
actually did
photo shoot and everything, buddy.
Yeah, we did that. We did the Latin Awards. That's when it all ended, which I'm not going to get into that.
I don't even know about that.
You don't know about that
I wasn't
story?
there.
No, I know you wasn't. So, oh, man, I don't know, because I got this for the documentary. So should I say it?
Yeah, you can repeat it in a document. You repeat it in a document.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so basically, we got booked to do the Latin Awards, and this is live on TV. This is big. You know what I'm saying? Millions of people are going to be watching this. I'm already nervous. I'm not a professional dancer. I just could dance. So we come up with this routine.
Let me just explain something to you. As soon as you get paid for your craft, you are a professional. So if you ever got paid for dancing, once that first paycheck came to you, guess what, bro?
Tours, you're
a professional dancer.
I became a professional dancer. All right. So fair enough. So we get this gig to perform at the Latin Awards. And I take months to practice a routine that Jason Lee created. And I'm not even that good. And then we get to the Latin Awards, and the host comes in and says, you guys can't dance to y'all music, and you have to change your routine. I'm talking about 10 minutes before the show. And Jason, as a professional that he is,
trained dancer,
he's like, all right, cool, got it. He already had a whole routine. Here's the song you guys are going to dance to. This is what it is. See you in 10 minutes. And Jason Lee took it like, all right, cool, this is easy. And I'm like, bro, it took me like 6 months to learn the routine we just did. What are you talking about? And he was like, nah, you good. It was like to a reggaeton song. You don't even like that. I don't want to say that, but we came up with a new routine 10 minutes before the show. All right, guys, showtime. We get on stage in front of thousands of people. Cameras are on us for people at home to watch, millions. And I ruined the whole routine.
I don't even remember that.
I fumbled all over the place. It was cringing. I've seen people cringe. I'm like, who's this guy? It was so bad. That right there, Chico, ended my dance career. Professional. I never danced again after that. It was crazy. I was so embarrassed.
I didn't even know that happened.
I was so embarrassed, bro.
I missed that story.
Yeah, I was so embarrassed. I'm pretty sure it's out, but I wouldn't.
You couldn't just like step back and just clap your hands.
I wouldn't.
Hey guys!
I was trying to catch the routine. I was nervous. It was just so bad. And then a week later, Jason hits me up and he says, this was the confirmation that I was not a dancer. He said, yo, I just saw the footage. And it was bad, bro. Not only were you bad, but you were so bad you made all of us look bad. And I was like, never again.
And he didn't ever pull punches. He always spoke his mind.
Absolutely. Yo, who's the craziest person you know? Because I think I'm the most sane person you know.
For you to think that you're the most sane person you know makes you the most insane person I know. You're out of your mind. Out of your mind. There's stories I can't even say. I can't even say those stories. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Like you're a maniac. Like for real. Like clinically. Like something wrong with you.
Nah.
You just been able to control it, but you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind.
I'm the most sane person.
And you don't even do drugs. That's
Never
the
in my
crazy.
life.
That's
Never
what I'm saying.
smoked a day in my life. I drank 4 times my whole life. Never did none of that stuff.
That's what I'm saying, which
None of that
makes it
stuff.
even crazier.
Nah, but I'm good. I'm like the most sane person
All right,
you know, bro.
Keep telling yourself that. Keep telling yourself that.
Yo, let's get back into I want to ask you one last question before we shut it down. It's whatever. Never mind the music, the noise, y'all. If you do hear it. So check it. After all these years, after 10 albums, after all these tours, after all this dancing and videos, and what inspires you? Like what keeps Mazzi going?
The charities. The
Ooh,
charities,
yeah.
the charities keep me going. The children that I'm able to work with, the different on the ground organizations that I deal with. It's the charities. If it wasn't for, and I never thought that hip hop would bring me this far to touch. And I'm just a drop in the bucket, bro. There's so much more to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, in 100 years, I wouldn't think that hip hop would get me to all these different countries to work with all these people. But at the end of the day, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a soldier. How can I give back? It's through my music. Right. And music is a language that everybody speaks. You know what I'm saying?
And you also have a few hobbies. One, you play ball.
I mean, 4 surgeries and 6 injuries later,
right, yeah,
I do my best.
Right, you play ball like heavy. Like even when you was doing that and your hip was
I was still like
dislocated, you were still playing ball.
I might even be in a wheelchair league one day if it gets down
like
to that.
You did that heavy.
Yeah.
If you had to pick two basketball players.
Like that influenced me?
Yeah. Or like if you had your own team, you were a professional basketball player.
Oh no, I don't know about that's a tough question. I have to think about that. Well, my favorite player of all time is Mark Jackson.
Okay.
So Mark Jackson, just watching him play, his style, he's from New York, you know what I'm saying? Just it influenced the way I play. And I mean, of course, Magic, Isaiah, those guys, but Mark Jackson was like the epitome for me.
Right.
Favorite player of all time.
You also go all around the world and search for tea.
I gotta update that. Damn. I had this show called the Tea Time Show, right? Where I would go to different places and just
not just different places.
Different countries, yeah, cities, and taste test their finest tea and like give
He'll
my
go
like
to the most official, whatever the most official tea spot is.
And then
I thought that was so interesting. And I'm a coffee lover. I hate tea.
Right.
But when I saw you doing this, I was like, damn, this guy does everything.
But I gotta
He's
cultivate.
So creative.
You know what? I gotta cultivate it more. Again, I'm a one-man army.
You was putting the editing and you was putting it together.
Yeah, I edited a lot of video myself. Like
yeah.
even music videos of my own, I've edited a lot.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I'm not Spielberg, but I get the job done.
I thought that was such a dope concept that you did.
It's not over. I'm trying to pitch it, but
right.
Again, I'm doing everything by myself. So hopefully in 2020 we'll figure something out. That's the Tea Time Show. That's what it was called.
Right.
I would just go to different places, different cities, and taste test their finest tea, and then give my hood rendition of it.
Right.
Like,
I thought that was so dope. There's so many things that you do, honestly, that I love, man.
Thanks,
you're
bro.
so creative. You're so humble. I don't know, man. I think that's why we lasted so long as great friends, man. You've been one of the best friends of mine. I could come to you about anything. And I think that's so dope that you're still going strong. And you just recently called me. I'm like, yo, you got to hear this new album. And I'm like, yo, you're a robot, bro. You're a robot.
I just love to create, man.
I think you guys just keep going and keep doing different things.
And the thing is, when you keep doing it, you're going to get so much people. I don't want to say there's haters out there, like whatever.
Obviously,
but there's people who are going to give you negativity and be like, why are you doing it? Why are you even doing this? This is But like, bro, you are not walking in the shoes of the creative person.
Right.
So, until you walk into those shoes and understand it, you can't really speak on it. And now the past 10 years, I've been doing the philanthropy heavy. So it's like, what are you gonna tell me? You could tell me, all right, I never got on a major label, but who cares? I've been to these many countries on my own. I've done so many different things with so many different countries and organizations. Have you done that?
Right.
No.
What have you done?
Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it really kind of shuts down the naysayers. But again, I don't do it for them. They're not the fuel to my fire. It's these kids. It's these charities. It's these people who are beautiful all around the world. You know what I'm saying? That I have the honor of even working with and learning from them. You know what I'm saying? Like the first time I went to Palestine, which is a war zone. I've been there like 8 times, but the first time I went, I thought I was gonna like go there to teach kids and let them know. Yeah, okay, I did teach them, but they taught me because these kids are in a war, are in a fucked up predicament, and
crazy.
They're patient. They're years beyond their age, like in maturity, and they taught me a lot. You know, so I learned from them. I learned from people I'm going to quote unquote help all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like it's an exchange, and it's like anything else. It's an exchange of energy. Even on stage, people don't understand you're exchanging energy. If you understand that you're exchanging energy with the crowd.
I was about to ask you because you have great energy on stage. Where did you get that inspiration for that? Because you're a machine on stage as well.
I learned from watching. I've probably can count on one hand how many hip hop acts I haven't seen perform live. I've seen everybody perform almost, and I took pride in doing that because not only do I learn what to do, a lot of times I learn what not to do on stage. And my favorite artist of all time in all genres of music is James Brown.
I'm so mad that you brought that up because that was my next question.
Yeah, he's my favorite. Like, he's the godfather of modern music. Like, people, y'all really got to research on how ill he was and what he did for music in America in the 20th century, 21st century, whatever. But hip hop wise, a lot of people I learned from was like Busta, KRS-One, Public Enemy, you guys,
Arsonist
for sure. Arsonist probably in the top 10 of best performers of all time that I've seen.
That's an amazing compliment. Thank you.
That
Appreciate
I've seen. So yeah, you learn a lot. You got to study. Big Daddy Kane, I study them. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And you see it too when we went in Africa after so many years later of knowing you. And I was still impressed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was watching you, and I'm still impressed.
Right. Because
dope.
I want to do new things. I want to try new things. I want to, you know what I'm saying, keep pushing the limit. Without, there's a cheese ball factor in performing live. So you have to be careful you don't step over the cheese ball limits.
Right.
You know what
We've
I'm
done that a lot. We've won superhero shirts. We've
but
done
in that time, it worked.
That.
And but honestly, the things you guys done that were dope overshadowed the cheesy stuff that you think are even cheesy.
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I remember one time you guys were supposed to battle Jurassic 5.
Yeah.
In the live show.
We was so
hyped. Live show battle.
We were so hyped to do that.
Shout out to Jurassic 5, but they were not seeing y'all.
I don't know. I seen them perform live.
I've seen them perform too.
I saw them perform live.
I've been in their music video. I like them. They're dope.
I love them. I love them.
Dope.
I seen
shout out to
Jurassic 5. I love them.
But they wasn't seeing you.
It got to a point where everybody wanted Arsonist and Jurassic 5 to battle live on stage because they were known for a dope
live show.
And
they were dope. They were
dope.
amazing.
And when I saw them, I said, I'm gonna go see them so that I could get my ammo ready. You know what I'm saying? And I saw them and I was impressed. So I love y'all, but we were ready for y'all. Like Arsonist was. And everybody was amping it. Yeah. Everybody was amping it like, yo, y'all gonna battle them? I think they better than y'all. What? I was like, nah, ain't nobody better than us, man. We gonna kill this. And it was 5 of them, right? It was 5 of them. It was 5 of them. It was like I remember it was equal. It was like equal. It was an equal thing, but it was great.
That would have been amazing to see.
I don't know what happened that it didn't, but it almost happened.
That shit would have been crazy.
We were ready. Arsonist was ready. All right, we're about to wrap it up. I just wanted to ask you a few fun questions before we wrap it up. And actually, one of them was James Brown, because I know he's one of your favorite people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So the question that I had was, if you did a song with him and he was alive right now, what would the name of the song be?
I Can Die Now.
That was such a good response. That was good because I know he's one of your.
He's my favorite artist of all time in all genres.
I know that. That's why I asked about that. Another question I had was, what song, and it doesn't have to be hip hop, made you so mad because you wasn't a part of it? You ever had that?
That's a good question.
Like, this song is so dope. Why am I not a part of it, or why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I do that?
Why didn't I think of that is, damn, there's a lot.
I just want one. Like, what song made you mad? Like, oh, this song is so dope. Why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I do that song? Why wasn't it somebody call me and be a part of it?
I really liked this. There's
And
many.
it doesn't have to be hip hop.
No, it is hip hop.
Okay.
Okay. I'll give you one hip hop, one non hip hop.
All right, dope.
There's many in hip hop, but one that comes to mind is
If the song was that dope.
Yeah, when that shit came out,
Yeah,
that
was a dope song.
Shit, amazing! I wish I would have thought of that.
Right.
That's one, and then in
Non-hip hop.
non-hip-hop, it was Billy Joel. We didn't start the fire.
Ooh.
He bodied that shit.
Wowed out.
To the point where I might just like the year he finished telling the history, I might just take it.
Right. And you
and
should do that.
I'm gonna try, but that's such.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do it one day, but
it's hard to touch.
With classics, you got to be very careful. People be taking classics and just redoing them, and it sounds like, why did you even do that? It sounds like shit. So I'm really taking my time and meditating on it to do it right.
Right. You got to do it right.
Yeah.
This question's actually from Slope. So he wanted to know, if you was trapped on an island, what would be the food, your go-to food? What's your favorite food?
Bro, Persian food. Come on.
I know, but what? Like, you you on that island? What are you gonna make?
There's
What are
this-
you gonna eat?
There's this
Every day.
Yeah. There's this every day. There's this
You're on the island.
There's this food we have called tadig. Tadig is
Tadig.
I think Dominicans have it too. The bottom of
Well, we have some Dominicans here.
the
in
bottom of
house.
the pot where it gets crunchy. Y'all call it kangkong. Yeah.
Oh, we call it something else. Pegao.
So what we do is we have 4 different kinds of it. No, we have 4 different kinds of it. One is we take like time to make it. It's just not just it's there here.
No, that's what we do, right?
Nah. We actually it's a
Do
thing.
you guys like that? Do you guys?
I enjoy it.
I don't. But go
So
ahead.
what it is you can either make sure it really develops and you don't scrape it off. You like peel the whole thing off.
Right.
Actually, you turn the rice upside down, and so on top of the rice is a crispy crust, and you take it. Either you could do it like that, or there's 3 other ways to do it. One, you put thin slices of pita bread to infuse with the crunchy part. Second one is you put some pieces of spaghetti and it infuses with the crunchy rice. The 4th and favorite way, the best way, is to take little slices of potatoes and put it and infuse it with the rice, and it tastes amazing. And then you put different stews on it, and with the stew is out of here.
I don't think Puerto Ricans or
Nah,
Dominicans
y'all don't do that.
Stuff like that, right? We just take it like that.
We put the beans
Uh-huh.
right over it.
Nah, this is like some shit like
That's a
yeah.
meal. That's like a whole
Yeah,
meal.
it's a
This
whole
is
meal.
not a scrap.
Next time we go to Persian spot, we'll get it and then
All
you
right.
can taste it.
I mean, I don't like that stuff.
No,
I don't
but
like
it's,
the hard rice, but
but it's
that
made
sounds
like
amazing.
Yeah, it's
Like,
made like as a meal. Like it's not just like like whatever.
Right.
They specifically concentrate on making it like that. So
that's so dope.
Yeah,
That's
you
so
like
dope. I
it.
learned. Look, 20-something years later, I'm still learning things about you. Where can people find you?
you could go to my site soulpurposecrew.com, soulpurposecrew.com, or IG and Twitter is It's Mazzi, ITSMAZZI, and Facebook just Mazzi and Soul Purpose. You can find it spelled regular. Mazzi is Mazzi, and then N Soul Purpose.
Don't forget your customized cakes through Heaven Desires 69 at Instagram. Yo, man, this is this was such a great episode, man. Everybody,
We could
go
do
to the
it
Wordplay
another 2
Podcast.
hours, bro.
I know. I had to cut it.
Yeah.
I had to cut it because if not, we'll be here forever. There's so many different stories that we have. You want to say one? You want to say?
Nah. Because it's gonna spiral into something else,
You
into
sure?
something else.
Is there one crazy story
Getting
you
on
want
the
to say?
radio. You know?
Is there one crazy story you want to say?
Nah, bro, because this just leads to some other shit. Like,
Peace, party people. Ha ha. See you later.
I can tell you wanna grab the mic because you Thursday. Hoping you gon' get some shine, but you not